Hey guys, today we're doing a pulled pork recipe. I've done it before in the past, but this is specifically for pulled pork sandwiches using the King's Hawaiian bread. It's a delicious sweet bread. I also got some coleslaw. So we're gonna just basically top these babies with some pulled pork, some coleslaw. Good to go. It's delicious. They're quick and easy snacks. I'm taking them to a party because I know I'm gonna have a lot of pulled pork left over. So I'm gonna make 24 little sandwiches to take it to my friends later on. All right, guys, so first thing you wanna do is put your Instant Pot on saute because we are going to brown our meat. All right, we have about 4 pounds of a pork shoulder that I cut up. It was a big 4-pound piece like that. I cut it up. It's probably about 3.5 now because I took off as much fat as it could because these shoulders happen to have a lot of a lot of fat in them. What I'm gonna use to season this meat is try your best to coat with as much, not with as much, individually to coat every single piece of meat. So I'm gonna use onion powder and I'm just gonna literally just do it in this bowl and get dirty with it. Some salt, some garlic powder, some paprika, some cumin, which I'm just gonna finish the bottle right here. Make sure you mix in the rub really well on the pork. So just get really dirty with it. You can clean your hands later. My Instant Pot says hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some olive oil to it. And we're gonna start browning the pork. So we're gonna work in batches because obviously there's a lot of pork here. So just go ahead and put some pork on the bottom. I'm probably gonna do 2 batches. I'm working at my 8 quart right now. So let that sit 2 minutes, flip it over, brown the other side. While that is browning, you can get your sauce mixture ready because we are gonna use it when we cook everything in it. So first things first, we're gonna do 1/2 cup of chicken broth. And you can put this in a small bowl because we're gonna whisk it later on. So 1/2 cup of chicken broth, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I've been using it a lot lately. Don't hate on my parade. Yeah, so I've never used this before. This is the first time, and I think it's supposed to give like the beef, like the pork, like that smoked barbecue taste. So yeah, okay, so it's exactly to give that taste of the liquid. It's called liquid smoke because it gives that hickory smell. I totally smell it. So I'm gonna do a teaspoon of this, but I don't really want to put a lot. I don't really know what it's gonna taste like. That's the first time you're using it on a type of recipe like this. But it's also really hard to find. I found it at the local market, but it was like hidden. So also, of course, some brown sugar. And we're gonna do 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon of minced garlic, and also, of course, a cup of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Now, if you don't like it so sweet, then just use your regular barbecue sauce. But I would say just to use whatever barbecue sauce is your favorite. For me, it's obviously honey barbecue. You guys know that. I'm going to mix it as best as I can because we are going to drizzle the pork with this before we close the pot. So go ahead and whisk away as best as you can. Now that little man's up, I can be a little bit louder. So I'm still browning here. It doesn't have to be perfectly browned, but just enough to give that little bit of the color. I mean, I don't really think it has to be brown at all. Browning to me is just an aesthetic. That's all it is. Let me also let you guys know that this is one of those recipes that takes a while to cook. So I'm gonna put it on high pressure for 90 minutes because I want that pork to be really, really shredded. Really easy to shred. So it is gonna take 90 minutes and probably another 10 to 15 minutes to quick release. So you're looking about 2 hours total between prep and cook time, but the result is amazing. So stay tuned. We're just waiting for our pork to brown a little bit more, and then the next few steps are totally easy. Now that my pork is all browned up, I'm gonna go ahead and take the sauce mixture that we made earlier, and I'm going to just drizzle it on top. So I just put the sauce in there. I'm gonna go ahead and toss the sauce around in the pork. Make sure it's well coated. So because I have so much pork, and I already see that, I need that sauce to cover the pork entirely. So I'm gonna make a second batch of sauce because I have a lot of pork in there, and I'd rather have more sauce than get the burn. So I'm gonna make another batch of the sauce and toss it on top, and then I'll get back to you guys, okay? Hold on. Alrighty, I had to make a second batch of sauce because I wanted to make sure that the sauce is covering most of my pork, as you guys can see. I do not want the burn, and I do not want for my pork to be under seasoned or no flavor. Once you close your pot, you put your vent to seal, and we're gonna put it on the meat stew option for 90 minutes. That's kind of gonna cook it on the slower, like more of a slow cook, I think. I'm not sure exactly if it's like a slow cook, but I think so. But I don't know why they have those two options, a slow cook and the meat and stew. But since there's a lot of liquid in there, maybe the meat stew version is the best. I don't know. So an hour and 30 minutes, you're gonna go ahead and close the pot, put it away, go do your thing, get ready for your party, whatever you need to do. You're gonna go ahead and let it beep and let it quick release. It's probably gonna take 10 to 15 minutes to natural release on its own. And then once that's done, we're gonna make sure that the air is out, open it up, take out all the pork, shred it. And while we're shredding it, we're also sauteing the sauce to thicken up. So you guys will just have to wait an hour and a half. Not really. I will have to wait an hour and a half. So you guys can see what it's gonna look like at the end. I promise it's gonna be delicious. All right, guys, I took a shower. My hair is clean, therefore I look better, right? My Instant Pot beeped. It's been sitting now for 41 minutes, so the air is completely out. We're gonna open it up and see what we got here. And as you can see, we got some pulled pork ready to go. Now, the big problem with this type of pork is that it releases a lot of fat, and the fat sits on top. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a slotted spoon like this and put all your pork into a bowl. Then, I thought Ryan woke up. Then after you do that, you're gonna go ahead and start and put that sauce on saute, and you're gonna let it simmer. Once it starts to simmer, all that fat rises up, and you're just gonna basically scoop out all that excess fat that sits on top of the sauce. You're gonna go ahead and, once that's done, let it sit there for 15 minutes of saute. It'll start to thicken up on its own, and it's good to go. Put the pork back inside. For me, I like to work better when I'm doing sandwiches. I like to place the pork dry on the sandwiches and then sauce it on top with the coleslaw and the bread. So that's what I'll be doing. But I cannot finish now because I still need to shred, and I'm an hour away from the party. So, toodaloo. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions. Guys, I just wanted to show you how tender it was that I just ripped it up in 2 minutes. I shredded all the pork. And I'm going to now simmer my sauce. So I'm going to take it to the party in separate. So I'm going to put this in a Ziploc bag, the sauce in a Ziploc bag, the coleslaw, and the bread all separate. And I'm going to put it together when I get there.